First and foremost, I want to normalize bedhead because it's actually part of the theme of the chat today. I was listening to a video about wealth generation, and I found it really interesting because the guy talked about how sacrifice is required to generate wealth. Oftentimes, we, at least in my mind, I've been led to believe that I need to make more money in order to generate more wealth. And so that's sort of a blocker of mine, is I believe that wealth generation is directly correlated with income and your ability to make money. But I think that a lot of people, whether it's generating wealth or maybe just accomplishing certain goals, they can do a lot with very little. And I think that it's because they're able to sacrifice certain things in order to reach their ultimate goal. And so the reason also that I have bedhead this morning is because I'm really trying to commit to waking up early and just spending more time with myself and more time just being a more curious person. I am naturally very curious, and I think if you have this natural curiosity, it's a beautiful thing, because you just want to learn. If you're anything like me, I have so many ideas. I have so many interests. There's so many things that I watch and read about. I went this morning from learning about investing stocks to eventually working on a budget for the month ahead. Happy New Year, by the way. With it being January 8, 2026, I realized that when it comes to my spending, at least, a lot of how my money is spent is unconscious. And I've basically broken down my expenses into fixed and variable categories. Fixed being rent and the expenses that I can expect every single month. And so the variable expenses is where I've been getting hit, and I think overspending. So yeah, this morning I went into just finances and money and investing and saving and budgeting. So I want to encourage you, if you are curious, to prioritize your curiosity. It reminds me of a story I heard about certain, not only one artist, but many artists. What they do, whether you paint or you write, let's say, they will designate a time when they write. And during this time, they may not know what they're going to write about, but at least from, let's say, 6 to 8 p.m., they know that that time is for writing. And I think what that does is it not only forces you to be creative and to write, but it also normalizes or conditions you to start to activate those parts of your brain that are required in order to write something. So when it comes to curiosity, I think it's the same. You can't just blindly expect yourself to explore the things you're curious about every day. I think you have to designate a time when you are being intentional about researching things and digging and learning and just acting on it. So that's a new practice of mine. In the morning especially, I wake up at 6 and I start work by 8. So from 6 to 8 I can lay around and be lazy and drink coffee and just be curious and do homework, read a book. I'm reading 48 Laws of Power, and it's been really nice just to dive deeper into Robert Greene's laws. So I highly recommend jumping into that book if you haven't yet. But yeah, I want this to hopefully encourage you to find a time every day, if possible every day, to really just don't put so much pressure on yourself. This is something that I think is very common these days. Is, everyone's rushing, everyone's focused on their goals. Everyone, very much like my younger brother. I'm the oldest of 6 boys, and one of my older younger brothers was telling me how he feels like his mind is always racing. He's always doing a million things here, and he feels like he's not as present as he could be. And Alan Watts is a favorite philosopher of mine. He passed decades ago, but he talks about this concept of the present moment, right now, right here. This very moment is something that is so unique because it's here and then it's gone. We can remember it, yes, but it's something you can't experience again. Presence is so valuable, and I think it's something that we don't appreciate enough. And we often, at least I'll speak for myself and for my brother, we get stuck in these loops of thought where we are either in the past or we're in the future. But through being so focused on what's ahead or what happened to you, you forget about what's now, what's here. So please remember that this very moment, today, right now, this is what matters. Not to say that the past and the future don't matter, but please take advantage of today. Cheers. Happy New Year, everyone.